that means, in some sense, and I suppose this is part and parcel of the Christian story, that we have some divine calling. And then I thought, oh, it's related to this issue, is that there's the divine word, but there's the incarnation, and the incarnation indicates that the specifics of time and place are just as important as the eternal that surrounds it. We each do it in our own way and with tremendous difficulty, I would say, and we do it aided and abetted if we're fortunate by people that love and care for us. You know, a huge part of the challenge of life, that's really, really difficult. See where that gets you, and if you have any sense, and generally people have at least some, they know that being sick and bitter is worse than just being sick. And that being, right, it's worse. All you've got left is your willingness to shake your fist, you know, and say, wow, you know, really? And I think we're stuck with it at every level of our life in some sense, is how do we maintain a high order moral orientation in spite of suffering and malevolence?
Yeah. And they'd come to me and they'd say, you know, tell me real quick, why did this happen?
Right.
Yeah, that makes sense. But we grow up and we don't think that's enough anymore. But my experience tells me is that when Christ can do that for me, in the midst of my brokenness, in the midst of my suffering, in the midst of my pain, and remind me that I'm loved. It was a Thursday evening as a seminarian trying to figure all this out and hearing the Lord breaking in the midst of that and say, Dave, I love you.
As it turns out, you know, we might think, and why wouldn't we, that we would rather that things were easy and pain-free, and fair enough. But it's extremely difficult. It's difficult to maintain an ethical orientation in the midst of malevolence and suffering.
To be Christ. If I can't find Christ in me, then I can't find him in them.
It is uplifting. And it's been striking to me too. I mean, part of the reason that my lectures, I would say, have been successful to the degree that they have been is because people find them encouraging.